Most sellers have no idea what their real estate agent is actually doing to sell their home. Not because agents are lazy, but because most agents never show them. They get the listing, they take the photos, they throw it on the MLS and on Zillow, and then silence. A phone call here and there, maybe a text when there is a showing, and the seller sits there wondering, is anyone actually working on my home? I decided a long time ago that was not going to be how I operate. I'm Lourdes Maestres. I have been selling luxury real estate in Fort Lauderdale for 17 years. Today, I want to walk you through the systems I built specifically so that every single seller I work with always knows exactly what is happening with their home every single week in writing without fail. I call it the Do Not Fire Me report, and it has completely changed the way I work with sellers and homeowners. A few years ago, the market shifted. Homes that used to sell in 2 weeks started sitting for 60, 90, and sometimes 120 days. And I started to notice something. Sellers were getting nervous, not because their home was not good, not because the price was wrong, but because they had no visibility into what was happening. They did not know if their agent was working. They did not know what buyers were saying about their home. They did not know how their home was performing compared to the competition. And when homeowners do not have information, they start to doubt. And the first person they doubt is their real estate agent. I realized I needed to solve that problem, not just with a phone call, but with something documented, something consistent, something that showed every homeowner exactly what was being done on their behalf every single week. So I built the Do Not Fire Me report. And what I discovered almost immediately changed everything about how I manage the homes that I take to market. When homeowners have real information, they do not panic. They do not make emotional decisions. They do not pressure me to drop the price before the market has had a chance to respond. They trust the process because they can see the process. And here is the thing that still surprises me every time it happens. Homeowners started calling me to suggest their own price reduction. I did not have to push. I did not have to convince. They read the report, they saw the data, and they said, okay, what do we do now? That is what real information does. It puts the homeowner in control and it makes my job easier. Quick note before we keep going, 2 things. First, if you are a real estate agent watching this and you have a client thinking about selling or buying in Fort Lauderdale, reach out directly. We take care of our referrals and we take even better care of your clients. Second, if you're watching this from outside of Fort Lauderdale and you're thinking about selling your home wherever you are, we can help with that too. Through our network, we can connect you with a trusted agent in your market who operates at the same standard we do here. Just reach out and we will make sure you are in the right hands. Either way, the link is in the description. We are here. So what is actually this report? Every Tuesday, without exception, every single homeowner that I work for receives a written report. It does not matter if the listing is $100,000 or $10 million. Every seller gets it because every seller deserves to know what is being done for them. The report has several key sections. The first is marketing activity. Everything my team and I have done that week to promote your home is documented in writing. Every single email, every cold call we ever made to a prospective buyer, every text message, and every networking event I attended where I spoke about your property, every broker I connected with, even if I attend a Tom Ferry real estate conference and I spoke to 30 agents about your home, that is going to be included in my report. If my inside sales associate team made 50 calls within our database, that is going to be in the report. Nothing is left out because I want you to see the work, not just hear about it. The second section of my report is a digital performance report. And that basically tells us, how is your home performing online? What is the click rate on your listing? How many people viewed it on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook? And I know you can look that up yourself online, but we consolidate this information for you so you don't have to. What platforms is it appearing on and how it is performing on each one? Most homeowners have no idea their agent is even doing digital marketing. I show them the numbers every single week, even if they do not fully understand what a 35% click rate means. They understand that I'm working, and that's the point. The third section is showing feedback. Every single showing that happens on your home, I want you to know everything about that buyer. Who are they? Where are they coming from? Are they cash buyers or are they financing? Are they close to the asking price? Are there any credits being discussed? Right after the showing, I will pick up the phone, I will call the showing agent, and I will find out information that is not available anywhere online. I will put all of it in your report so you know exactly who is walking through your door and what they think about your home. The fourth section is market intelligence. This is where I show you exactly what is happening in your specific neighborhood right now since we listed the home and since last week. Not just in Fort Lauderdale, in your neighborhood, at your price point, with homes that are comparable to yours, what has sold recently and for how much. If a property went under contract within the last week, I want you to be the first one to know about it. And I'm also going to find out information regarding that potential contract that may be useful to you. What is sitting and why? And what new listings just came on the market that are going to be competing with your home? I have personally completed over 600 comparative market analysis. And you may wonder, how do you even know that? And I know that because I track absolutely everything. I study the market every single day, and every week I translate my knowledge into information you can actually use to make good decisions. The fifth section is competitive listings. I show you every home that is competing with yours right now, not just the address and the price, the full history. How long have they been on the market? Have they had any price reductions? And what feedback are they getting? What are buyers saying about them versus your home? This section alone has been responsible for some of the most important pricing conversations I have had with homeowners. When they see the full picture of what competition looks like, the right decision becomes obvious. Now, there are actually two versions of this report. The first is the weekly short version. This goes out every Tuesday from the moment we go active into the market. It covers the highlights, what we did, what we saw, what the market is saying. It keeps you informed without overwhelming you. The second is the consolidated version. This goes out at the 30-day mark if we do not have an accepted offer. This is a deeper report, more comprehensive. It pulls together everything from the previous 4 weeks, shows you the full competitive picture, and presents a complete analysis of where your home stands in this current market. This is also what I use when it is time to have a pricing conversation. And I want you to know something. Pricing conversations are often very difficult. Nobody wants to hear that the market is telling them something different than what they hoped for. But when a homeowner has been receiving this report every week for 30 days, that conversation is completely different. They have seen the data, they have seen the showing feedback, they have seen what the competition is doing. They already know what the market is saying. So when I sit down with them at the 30-day mark and I present the consolidated report, more often than not, the homeowners is the one who brings up the price, not me. I have had homeowners call me before I even finish the presentation and say, okay, what number do we need to be at? That is what systems does. It removes the emotion and replaces it with information. And information always leads to better decisions. I want to talk about how this works from day one because I think this is where most real estate agents miss an opportunity. When I meet with a homeowner to discuss selling their home, I do not wait until we have a problem to introduce the system. I show homeowners the report before they even sign a contract with me. I print it out. I walk them through every section. I say, This is what you're going to receive every single Tuesday from me. And we set the expectation right from the beginning. This is the standard. This is what working with me looks like. And I can tell you from 17 years of doing this, the homeowners who are right for me respond to this immediately. Their eyes change. They lean forward because most of them have had an experience who went quiet after the contract was signed, and they never want to feel that way again. Setting this expectation up front does something important. It tells the homeowner, I have nothing to hide. I'm going to show you every week, whether it's good news or news we need to act on. That level of transparency is rare in this industry. Sellers were transacting at 3 million, 5 million, 10 million. They can feel the difference between a real estate agent who is accountable and one who is not. This report is how I show my accountability, not just talk about it. If you're finding this helpful, there is a lot more where this came from. Subscribe to my channel, and every week you will get real market insights, real seller strategies, and an honest look at what actually takes to sell a luxury home. No fluff, just what you need to know. I want to address something directly because I think it is important. Most real estate agents are not doing this, not because they do not care, but because they have never built the system. What most homeowners experience without something like this is a phone call every week or two with a general update. Maybe a text when there is a showing. Maybe nothing for days at a time when it is quiet. And I understand why that happens. Most real estate agents are managing multiple homes, handling buyers, prospecting for new business. There are not enough hours in this day. But here is what I know from sitting across from hundreds of homeowners over the last 17 years. The silence is worse than bad news. When a homeowner does not hear from the real estate agent for a week, they do not assume everything is fine. They assume something is wrong. They start questioning the price. They start questioning the marketing. They start questioning whether they hire the right agent or not. That doubt is expensive. It leads to emotional decisions. It leads to premature price reduction. It leads to homeowners firing their real estate agents, sometimes right before the right buyer comes along. The do not fire me report eliminates that silence entirely. Every Tuesday, the homeowner has a complete picture of exactly where things stand. There is nothing left to wonder about. There is nothing left to assume. I built the system because I believe homeowners deserve that, not as a luxury, as a standard. Since I made this a standard part for every home I take to market, the results have been consistent. Homeowners stay calm during longer market cycles because they have information, not silence. Price reduction conversations happen naturally instead of becoming confrontational. Homes that expired with other agents come to me and sell because the strategy changes along with the communication. I have had sellers who went with another agent first, got the silence treatment, got the frustration, got the expired listing. Then they come back to me 6 months later. And the first thing they say, I should have called you first. I have had an elderly couple listed a $9 million home who came into my office for a full presentation. I show them every single thing I have done over the months of marketing, every showing, every broker outreach, every marketing effort documented in that report. When I finished, they looked at me and said, wow, you have done a lot of marketing. And they gave me the price reduction. The home sold, and they told every member of their family about the experience. That is what this system does. It does not just keep sellers informed, it builds the kind of trust that turns client into advocates. I now have homeowners who have worked with me multiple times, homeowners who refer me to their neighbors, their colleagues, their family members, because when you go through a real estate transaction with someone who shows you everything every week in writing, without fail, you do not forget that experience. If you are thinking about selling your home in Fort Lauderdale, here is what I want you to take from this video. You deserve to know what your real estate agent is doing every single week, not in a phone call that you have to chase down, in writing, with data, with showing feedback. with market intelligence that actually tells you something. That is the standard I hold myself to for every homeowner I work with. Whether your home is worth $500,000 or $15 million, dollars, if you want to experience what that looks like firsthand, reach out. I am happy to walk you through exactly what we do for the specific home in this market right now. No pressure, no pitch, just a straight conversation. I'm Lourdes Maestres, and this is what I am here for. But before you go, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, what is the one thing you wish you knew before you listed your home? Or if you're thinking about selling, what is your biggest question right now? I read every single comment and will answer you personally.